All right, here we go. Salute to Knicks Nation on this Friday evening. A special edition of KnicksFanTV Live presented by Manscaped. Emergency live stream. We told you we were going for a doubleheader here in the offseason, and for good reason we are, because Jalen Brunson makes shockwaves once again around the NBA by signing a 4-year deal worth $156.5 million extension, taking $113 million off the table. We got to talk about it, man. Action-packed show. Hit the like button, hit the share button, subscribe to the channel. CP the franchise here, JD Sports Talk on the way. Joining us today, making his KFTV debut. See, because with all this maneuvering that Leon Rose is doing, we got to break down this salary cap, soup to nuts, A to Z. And joining me right now, man, he's a rising star on the YouTube scene right now, man. NBA capologist. His name is Yossi Goslin, and he's here joining us today, man. So lock in, call us up, 657-383-1509, or you can hit us up on the KFTV Discord, man. What a day. Incredible day. Let's get into it. All right, here we go, man. All right, salute to Knicks Nation, man. As we said, Jalen Brunson, 4-year, $156.5 million extension. This was reported a few months back by the Newsday's Steve Popper, alluding to the fact that Brunson could do this. He was potentially weighing signing early with the Knicks and giving this team some flexibility moving forward. This was later confirmed, and give those guys credit. Big Nick Energy had this out from last night, that this deal was going to come down and be announced today, which was the first day that the two sides could negotiate and ultimately announce the deal. So here we are, 4 years, 156.5, massive saving for the New York Knicks. And, you know, my quick reaction to this is another selfless sacrifice by a winning player in Jalen Brunson. Like, how lucky are we as Knicks fans, New York Knicks fans of this organization, this team, to have a guy not only leading on the court, leading by example, a superstar emerging on the main stage, and then doing it with his pockets. I mean, completely unprecedented, but a sign of stability, a sign of chemistry. And as I've been saying all year for the last couple of years, that this Knicks team under Leon Rose and this regime is in great hands and is in the best shape that it's been probably, since the 90s now. This is another sign. This team is locked in. This is a Rose and Wes, Tibbs, Brunson ticket. The CAA family is together, and they are making their charge. They are making their move. And this is just yet again another example of a win by this organization. Great job. And yep. You got to tip your cap to him, man. What do you think about this deal before we get into the numbers?
So when it first was reported by Steve Popper that it might happen, I was pretty surprised. As soon as the Knicks got eliminated, I made a video about the Knicks and what their offseason could look like, what a consolidation trade could be if they want to go for an all-star level player. And I talked about the Jalen extension, which at first I thought, no, he's probably not going to take it. He was almost first team All-NBA. He'd be leaving a lot of money on the table. And then the reporting came out that maybe could happen. And then there's been more reports like trickling down following that, hey, you know what, this is actually a realistic possibility. He might seriously consider it. And the more I thought about it, I didn't think it's that crazy, because the main thing is there's like a sticker shock that he's leaving $113 million on the table, which that's not necessarily like the way to look at it, because that's also including the 5th year. So that's saying that if Jalen Brunson doesn't take this particular 5-year deal, that he'll never play in 29-30, whatever that year is, that 5th year is, he's gonna, as long as he's having a normal basketball career, he's on the same trajectory he's in, he's healthy, he's gonna play in that year and make a lot of money then. Now, so he is giving up a lot of money, though. There's no doubt about that. So the way to look at it is what he's given up over the next 3 years. He's making less than whatever his max is. So I think it's about $36 million. And there is a way he could make all the money back that would require him getting a max contract in 2028, which a lot of stuff needs to go right his way. Health, still playing at a high level.
Yeah.
And so it's more likely that maybe he'll take yet another type of like max extension that's considered less than his max then, in which case, okay, he is leaving, let's say instead of 36, maybe like 50 million. So it is a lot of money, no doubt about it. And so if you're a Knicks fan, you're feeling great that like, wow, he did make a big sacrifice no matter what. But I don't think he's not giving up quite that much. He's not sacrificing quite that much at that level. But still, I remember the days when making $20 million a year, like 20 years ago, that was considered like, holy crap, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Now the NBA is in a place where making 40 million a year is considered a massive discount. That's crazy. I don't know. That's like, you can, a lot of people, there's a lot of ways people are looking at this extension that, wow, he gave up so much, or that like he gave up, that he's still going to make a lot of money. Like when you're making $40 million and that's considered a massive discount, the NBA is in a great place.
In a solid place, man. And the new TV deal is going to kick in a few years, which will ultimately increase the salary cap. And so, I mean, this has to, as the cap is going up with this deal, I mean, how do you see the Knicks potentially moving forward here in terms of potentially, roster building?
So the biggest thing is just they have a higher chance of keeping the guys they have now. The average team contender, they probably have one max player, maybe two. And at best, you can have like five guys that are like really getting paid. Like you look at what happened with the Nuggets now. Yeah. They had Jokic making a max. They have Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. making the lower tier max. And then they have Aaron Gordon make a lot of money. And now all of a sudden they couldn't keep Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And the average good team, they have like five, maybe six players that they're really paying. Yeah. The Knicks have 8 guys. They would have had 9 if Isaiah Hartenstein was able to stay. But they've got 8 guys that are like, at least above average rotation players. That is going to be rare for teams as good as the Knicks that are legitimate contenders to roster that many guys with all the constraints coming with the second apron stuff. So now with Jalen making considerably less than what his max would be, they just have a better chance of keeping all those guys. There definitely is some trade opportunities that could potentially come down the line. Maybe they are able to do another upgrade yet again if they do want to consolidate a little more. But the biggest thing is that this roster that they have now, this high level of depth, you can feel pretty good that they'll be able to stick together at least for these next 3 years.
And we're going to get into that potential move, potential trade in a little bit. We're going to keep it on Brunson. We'll keep it on Brunson, give him the spotlight right now because he deserves it. They're saying the statues might be going up. They might be pouring the cement down outside on 34th and 7th as we speak. A little off-season project for James Dolan as Madison Square Garden gets renovated. Brunson takes the bag early. Knicks are in great shape. Orange and blue skies. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Let's throw number 11 in the chat to salute Jalen Brunson tonight on a monumental deal for Brunson and the family, man. Shout out to Connor O'Neill, franchise channel member, new franchise channel member, $20 super chat. Says Jalen Brunson made a sacrifice. CP making the sacrifice to update us. The least I can do is keep the good karma going. Salute CP. He says, get yourself a beer. Let's go Knicks. It's our time. Salute to Connor, man. I don't drink beers anymore, man. I drink scotch, But when you get old like me, so you kind of switch up. You switch up the vibes, man. So, but we appreciate Connor for the support. Call us up, man, 657-383-1509, or you can hit us up on the KFTV Discord as well. And so, looking at this deal again, I'm just going to pull it up here. So, the player option here is for that 28-29 season. That's at $43 million, correct? That's at 43.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
So essentially, he's taking some now, and then with the ability, if all goes well, he stays healthy, he can opt out of that and then get into the 50s, maybe 60 range on a potential max deal.
Yeah. 70 even.
70. Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah. That's right. By that time, it'll be 70. For your 50 will be the new 30s, late 30s and 40s by that time. So where would how would a supermax come into play here? Would he need to be all NBA in the last, in 2 out of the next 3 years? How would that supermax come into play here later?
So he can't get supermax early anymore since he was only able to do that with the Mavs.
Right.
But so once he finishes his 10th year
10.
of service, which is 2028, which is right before that player option, he can then opt out and get the 35% max, which is the super max. So the idea is there is an opportunity for him to, okay, he's going to play these next 4 years out, the first 3 years of this extension, then opt out in 28, 29. And if he is still playing at a very high level and, everything's going just as great as it is now, he could then sign a max contract for, I forgot what the number was. I think it was like 418 over 5, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Something crazy. He would technically be able to sign that. And if that does happen, he would actually end up making back almost all of the 113 million that he's like leaving on the table. So we'll see. Hopefully he is playing at that level where they could reward him with that type of contract.
Now, you also mentioned with the Knicks acquiring Mikal Bridges, and he's eligible, contract extension eligible next summer. Go into that a little bit.
So he could technically extend in October, only in October, but it's like a 3-year deal, and it'll be for a little less money. But then once you get to the following offseason in July, he's going to be eligible for basically the exact same extension Jalen Brunson just signed, that 4 years, 156 million. And basically the same thing Jalen did, which if he takes that, I think he could definitely get more in free agency potentially. But if he takes it, that's just like yet another good team-friendly deal that will just help the Knicks further continue this window that they have.
There you go, man. Let me test the phone lines real quick here. 908. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
What's up? It's Jay from Philadelphia.
Jay, how you feeling, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Gosh, hey, fantastic.
So
it seems like the Knicks keep winning here, man. Like they can't do anything wrong.
Yeah, it's insane.
I'm not used to this,
Brunson's
man.
the king of New York. You know, if he wins a chip with the Knicks, I don't think he'll ever buy a beer in the city ever again.
Oh, never. Nah.
But I just want to keep it quick. I've been thinking about the Karl-Anthony Towns trade a lot.
Okay.
And sorry to change the subject a little, but I hated it at first because I love Julius. We all love Julius. We're all attached to him. I think we have too much of an emotional attachment to Julius. He's great, but Karl-Anthony Towns on the Knicks, I can only dream of it. It's amazing because imagine the pick and pop with Jalen Brunson and Cat, with Mikal Bridges and OG in the corners and DiVincenzo lurking around. Everyone would be shooting over 45% from three. It'd be crazy.
Yeah.
And it'd give Brunson so much time to cook in the paint.
Yeah.
It'd be absolutely insane.
Okay.
And I think it fits just way better than Julius Randle. So I think we should do it.
All right. Appreciate the call, man. Call back anytime, man.
Yep.
All right.
For sure.
Well, since he brought it up, let's talk about potentially what can happen here as Brunson has allowed the Knicks to open the books up a little bit and try to avoid the dreaded second apron. I saw you over there. Look like you were doing some math over there, man. What do we got? Is a Karl-Anthony Towns trade possible, at least financially, to give the Knicks, still some wiggle room here as relates to the apron?
So I have thought about Karl-Anthony Towns and Knicks because ever since they lost Isaiah Hartenstein, I'm just kind of looking at what center options they can get. Yeah. Most likely they don't get someone at the level of Karl-Anthony Towns, but most likely they just stick with Mitchell Robinson. They could use their mid-level on another backup, maybe bring back Achua as well. That's probably the safest route. But I have thought about Karl-Anthony Towns to the Knicks because it is still possible. Because when they modified the Mikal Bridges trade, they sent out more salary than they're taking in. That gave them the opportunity to still spend, increase their payroll, spend more money. So assuming, let's say that is on the table, there is an opportunity to get Karl-Anthony Towns. They're going to want to, a couple of things. One, they need to send out more salaries than they're taking out. So the most logical guys that would go out include Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson. So that's number one, but they still need to send out more. And it gets a little more complicated when you look at who else is on the roster. So one of the other ways they could get creative is including Precious Achua. They can kind of like the way they use Shake Milton. They signed and traded him to increase whatever outgoing amount they needed. They could do something similar with Precious Achua. So they still need to put more pieces, but it's definitely possible. The other thing is that it would have to be a 3-team trade because the Wolves also can't take back more salary than they're sending out since they're over the aprons. So another team would have to get involved, might have to take back Mitchell Robinson, for example, to help things out. But I'm not. So it is possible because anyways, if the Knicks are doing this trade, they're going to be hard capped to the second apron because they're combining multiple players to make this happen. But I've done the math. It is possible. They could make it happen by sending out Randle plus Mitchell Robinson plus whatever else they needed just to get to that $50 million, $49 million amount that Cat's making. So no, I've definitely looked into it. It is possible. The only thing is, I don't know if it's quite enough because the Knicks did give up just about every draft pick, every first round pick that they have to get Mikal Bridges. So would Randle being the centerpiece of this be enough to convince Minnesota, or would there be another team willing to take Randle and give up the picks that, or whatever assets it is that Minnesota would want back? I don't know. That's the thing. That's the only thing that we don't know if Minnesota will be satisfied.
Yeah, no, I think it's all interesting in terms of the cap dynamics. The caller certainly likes Cat. I talked about it on my show on Tuesday. Obviously, there is interest. There's definitely interest. Is there anything imminent? No, absolutely not. That I did not hear. But they are interested, and they like the fit. They want this thing opened up for JB. They continue to put shooters around him. With DiVincenzo, with OG, you got Mikal Bridges, another efficient shooter there. We'll see, man. Like I said, we'll just have to see. The Randle,
that might be the best offense in the league if they plug him in there.
I can't argue with that. I agree with fans questioning, can he handle it here? Because that's my primary question. Like, is Cat really built for this? And we have a lot of good mojo going. On paper, based on what their objectives are, it's a good fit, though. It is. I can't even front on that, But I just don't know if he can handle it here. I mean, you saw the guy damn near almost foul out in the third quarter against the Mavericks. The guy has meltdowns. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. But let's just see what happens. Because clearly this Brunson deal is a signal to allow Leon to keep cooking. Leon is cooking right now. He's turning the heat up on the sauce. You know what I mean? Like, he just got here a couple years ago. They were kind of, dicing up the ingredients. Some things weren't good. They took some things out. Now, like, the sauce is starting to form here, and they're turning the heat up, man. Leon's cooking, man.
You got to give Leon and the front office a lot of credit because this is not how contenders are supposed to be built. You don't just, take this team and build it through free agency, just nailing all your signings. Like, usually the most championship contenders, you do it through the draft get a superstar.
Yeah. This
is one of the most successful middle builds probably in NBA history, and they made it work. So you gotta give them their flowers. Absolutely.
You hit the nail on the head because most of these championship contenders, look, the Celtics, Brown and Tatum. The Golden State Warriors, Denver Nuggets with Jokic and Murray. Like, at the top is typically your homegrown players. And this is a Knicks team that has to do it in an unconventional way because their lottery picks, and this is nothing against RJ, this is nothing against Obi, but their lottery picks in their history have not bore any fruit. So they've had to go out and ship those guys off, get more in here, trade draft picks away. I mean, you're right, man. This has been an impressive build so far. On paper, everything needs to come together on the court, chemistry, and they need to continue winning. But to be able to put yourself in position where you are bona fide top 3 in your conference and maybe top 5 in the league, that's impressive, man.
Absolutely.
Without question. Let's get to the phones. Let's go to the phones, man. Hear what the people got to say, man. CB the franchise. Yossi Goslin in the building. Jalen Brunson, 4 years, $156 million. What do you think, man? Call us up. Let us know what you guys think about it. 657-383-1509. Or you can hit us up on the KFTV Discord. Ari's in the building. Ari, let's go.
Salute CP, salute Yossi.
Appreciate
you for having me.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Listen, we gotta talk a little bit right now.
All right, man. Let's go.
Because I think I'm finally at peace with the Mikal fleece. From my understanding, Yossi, you said it yourself. We traded all our picks for Mikal, and I was very upset about that. Never has a non-All-Star player been traded for that amount of picks. But now that I'm connecting the dots, it looks like Leon threw Jalen Brunson a bone, got his best friend in the building, build the culture, right? Build the camaraderie, sacrifice for the team, and then Jalen Brunson repaid the favor and gave us a break, right? So it's not 6 picks for Mikal. It's 6 picks for Mikal and getting Jalen Brunson to sign an extension. It seems like everyone's on the same page. So I feel a lot better about the deal now because we have some more flexibility that I wasn't kind of, programming into my math when I was trying to figure out how we're going to build this out, right?
Yeah.
So I feel a lot better. It makes more sense. Now I understand why Leon and Brunson probably spoke. Brunson's like, Leon probably wanted Brunson to sign an extension. Brunson probably wanted Leon to get Mikal in the building. So Leon had to do whatever he had to do. So he had to overpay significantly. But now it all works and everything's good. And now everything's good.
Now you see the light. Now you see the light, man.
I see a little bit of light. I see a little bit. We still need a backup center. We still have Julius Randle on the roster. So there's still some darkness in the building. But we're gonna figure it out. But with this Karl-Anthony Towns thing. Yo, you shook the timeline up, CP. I was working overtime for you to back you up, man. It got dicey out there, man. But I'll tell you this much. I don't want to take too long. Trading Randle for Cat is just trading a head case for a soft head case, right? Like, there's 100. Like, I agree with you, CP. Cat's a better fit on the offensive end. But if you're going to give up Cat, if you're going to give up Randle and Mitch, you're one Karl-Anthony Towns twisted ankle away from not having a center or a power forward on the roster. So I don't know how that's going to work. So whatever deal they do, they need to bring in if they do that deal or whatever, they bring in Cat. If they do it, there needs to be some more depth. But I think there's 100 other ways to trade Julius Randle that'll be better for the team moving forward. But I really like the fact that I think now I can say the culture is set. Okay. The culture is set now. It's a culture of sacrifice and selflessness. And Jalen Brunson, man, God bless you, man, because I would not have done what you did. You deserve everything. And hopefully you get a chip for us, and you deserve it. Salute to you guys.
Call, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Ari from Manhattan, our resident Debbie Downer. Rate that call in the chat, man. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. He says he's finally sees the light. He sees the light now, and he's coming to his senses. Are you guys go with that, or is it tomatoes? I saw a couple tomatoes in the chat, so some people have been unforgiving of Ari. But what do you guys think, man? I'll leave it to the chat to be the judge there, man. Yoshi, that's your first time hearing Ari, man. He's a KFTV regular.
No, so he's like normally just kind of down on stuff.
Yeah. He's our resident Debbie Downer. He's kind of toxic, at times. So this is kind of therapy for him. Yeah.
Look, I mean, the Knicks, in a way, I guess they probably gave up a bit too much for a guy that wasn't an all-star. Usually, you give that stuff for all NBA players, but the Knicks were still prepared to do that type of trade no matter what. Was Giannis going to become available anytime soon? I don't think so. Or if any level of that player was going to be available, I don't know. But he did make a good point. Never really considered it. The fact that by bringing in Mikal Bridges, maybe that did play a big factor in getting Jalen Brunson to agree to this, not just extend, but this particular extension. So no, it's all a good point. It all kind of adds up in a way. Yeah,
no question about it. Shout out to Oren Loop. A $10 super chat says, can we stop overrating Cat? He's injury prone, soft, and lack that NY mentality. We were 12-1 with Randle. It works just fine, and Randle is better. So why would we even add picks in that kind of trade? Shout out to Oren. No, I don't think anybody's overrating. And this is not an advocation here for Karl-Anthony Towns. What I said on Tuesday is that the Knicks are indeed interested in Karl-Anthony Towns. That's all I said. And I gave you the justification for it. And that's it. So it's not like anything's imminent or anything's on the stove. I'm just saying that they like his fit here. So we'll see. And everything that they've hit on, every move that they've made for the most part has been a hit. So, I mean, Leon's cooking, man. Don Leon is in control. I gotta roll with him. See what happens, man.
Yeah.
I think the date on the Randle extension talks starts, August 3rd?
I It is coming up. I'm pretty sure. But there is. I'm glad you brought up the Randle extension because I have thought about it a little bit.
Yeah.
So, usually most of those extensions, like if you take a pretty big extension, depending on a certain dollar amount in years, and you can't get traded for 6 months. So that's the primary reason why there's been some, like maybe not so much reporting, but speculation that the Knicks don't want to extend him. There is he could take something like, I believe it's 3 for 110 though, which is like the maximum amount that he could extend for and still remain trade eligible. So maybe the Knicks do want to extend him as long as it's something that one keeps their options open in case a good trade opportunity comes, but also is at a number that other teams would have interest in. Yeah, that's how I view like the whole Julius extension. Thing.
Which was similar to the deal that he signed previously, which was viewed as kind of a team friendly deal there. So to give him a little bit of flexibility. So hey, we'll monitor the situation and see how things go. I'm gonna load up the Discord a little bit. And so to everybody in the chat, let me make sure we got all the super chats. All my franchise channel members are in here. KFTV live and direct, breaking down the Brunson deal. 2,000 people on the check-in, man. CP the franchise, Yossi Goslin on the ones and twos. JD Sports Talk on the way. Book from Queens. Book, go ahead and I'll mute your mic.
Hey, CP, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. How you doing?
Excellent. Doing well. Obviously, fantastic. I think we're all having a great day as our captain, our Knicks Jeter, showed up for us, cooperating, helping run this. And so I actually have a couple of questions. Just a quick comment on Mikal Bridges first. I think they also paid the Nets to make this financially viable because Bridges is on a contract that you normally can't get that good of a player on. And the Nets played ball and allowed us to send more money out. You know what I mean? And so I think the financials is part of why the draft picks were where they were. That's just my opinion. Mike, I have a question for you though. So I've been saying for a while, I trust this front office because they're playing chess, not checkers. We watch them manipulate the draft picks. What is the interest in Towns, in your opinion, by the buzz that you're hearing? Because if they want him, I want him. That's where I'm at now. I trust leadership. But as you said, he's not on paper necessarily a flat out better player than Julius Randle. So I'm not seeing where this like real desire to like stretch out and get him like that comes from, even though we know the dimensions, stretching the floor, that kind of thing. So what's your opinion on that?
Yeah, okay. Hang on 1 second. Salute to Book first and foremost. I'm just adjusting my screen here because JD just got in here. So we are going with the 3 screen with the 3 box. And basically the interest is, as I said, they like how Boston looked last year. And with the Porzingis dynamic made them that much more dangerous in their ability to space the floor. They want shooting efficiency, man. They want shooting efficiency. They brought in DiVincenzo. They brought in OG. They're bringing in Bridges. They're trying to build that team around Brunson with guys that can do multiple things. Put the ball on the floor, hit the corner 3, knock down shots efficiently. Obviously, with the defensive wings, you got two of the best defensive wings in the league right now in Bridges and OG. Excellent. I've been saying they need a wing since 2013. But they want to spread this thing out. They want to spread this thing out. And that is why they are interested. There is history there. There is history there. He is CAA. He is formerly Kentucky. There's history with Leon and the whole crew. It's a family show. Not just here on KFTV, but with the Knicks as well. That is why they're interested. JD, do we have you in here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, man. Here we go. JD Sports Talk, live and direct. What do you think, sir? Brunson, $156 million. You're on the floor.
It's unbelievable. I mean, you talk about an era where, I remember when LeBron took like about $3 million back with Miami, and that was heralded as a huge huge cap flexibility move at the time to help the Heat add some role players. And he'll have the opportunity to make some money. I think Bondi even says, even in an ideal scenario, where in 2028 he would have the opportunity to sign a supermax deal, he still would be technically sacrificing about 37 million in terms of the duration of that time. So however you do the math, it's not 3 to 5 or $10 million that he's leaving on the table. It's a lot of money. And to me, it's a moment for him to add to his Knick legacy. It tells you that, you know, this front office has a plan. And I don't think that this was done only because of the friendship with Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo. I think that's a part of it. Maybe off the court endorsements is another part of it. But I think at the end of the day, this era that is about to begin, that has started a couple years already with him, but this continued era of contention for the next, you know, say 3 to 5 years, it's all going to be based on if they're able to win a championship. And I think that is the ultimate goal here. They may already have a few targets that they've talked about, because at the end of the day, guys, this is now, to me, stamped it. This is Brunson's team. And I know we knew that, but
yeah,
sometimes it's just great to say it. Like, there's no debate here. This is not Aaron Judge, Juan Soto. This is not, you know, Melo, Amari. This is not like, you know, like, this is Brunson's team. And I think he is going to be a part of some of the decision making in terms of having input. I mean, you see it already with some of the moves that they've made. But I think the next move that they make may have been talked about a little bit, whether it's minor moves or a bigger target. So I think this stamps his stock with the front office, with the franchise, and with the fan base. So to me, it just adds more excitement going into next season. And this is one of the most anticipated Knicks seasons in recent memory, and I can't wait for it to happen.
Yeah. No, yeah, well said. Well said, man. This is Brunson's team, and it's the Rose Tibbs Brunson ticket. I mean, Leon Rose, that's Jalen Brunson's godfather. let's remember that. So when we say it's a family, and it's refreshing because, you know, this is we open the week with Paul George exposing the Clippers and their contract negotiations and the misalignment of a player and his perceived value and where the organization wants to go. Last year, you saw the falling out with Harden and Morey. And yes, to a certain degree, it's a little bit different that these are kind of aging players, and those things typically happen when it comes to contract negotiations. But here you have it with Brunson, Rose, CAA. Like, it's a family, bro. They are in lockstep. There is a plan, and they are moving, man. This thing is moving forward and moving in a great direction, and it's almost hard. It's surreal. It's surreal, man.
CP, we talked about it last night on the phone. You just mentioned, right, the infrastructure, the culture, the environment, and the personnel that's here in the front office and on the court and in the coaching staff. It's all aligned. And when you build that type of stability, that type of environment in a high pressure market, I mean, you know, a lot was made about the Golden State Warrior, their environment when they were winning, how anybody can just go there and fit in, and anybody can just go to Golden State and have fun, and anybody can just go to Golden State and have career years. Well, guess what? New York has built something like that as well. They need the championship to take it to the next level, of course, but you've seen it already with some of the players coming here and having career years, developing. You know, remember that used to be a huge criticism of this franchise is we can never develop players, whether it's role players, whether it's any type of players. And I think that right there, dynamic that they've been able to create, I wouldn't be surprised if they take a risk at some point with a player out there that has had difficulty in certain environments or handling pressure, and then they feel comfortable that that player can slide in this organization and play well.
Shout out to Above the Rim, man. $5 super chat. He says, JD, is Julius expendable? Did he miss his opportunity? 3 question marks. He says 2 haircuts from Julius is crazy.
Wait, did that come from the chat?
Yeah, that came from Above the Rim. Yeah, it's our guy. One of our day ones.
Of course, you would highlight that and ask me that.
Yeah. Well, he was addressing you. This is what we do.
Expendable, man. It just depends on how they feel about. Okay, honestly, I think for basketball reasons, I really think it could depend on how they feel they need to play to beat Boston. If they feel they need to play small and they need to, maybe use Julius at the 5, how do they feel about that? Do they think that he could make the transition into a center in a lot of small ball lineups and adjust well and play well in that role? Because you could see that it's kind of turning into where they're going to have to be more flexible to lineups and certain, personnel to be able to beat some of the, high echelon teams, especially Boston. Because at the end of the day, when you look at the personnel and you look at Mitch versus KP, it's going to be an issue. It doesn't matter if Mitch has a career year versus everyone else.
Yeah.
But when we play the Celtics, if Mitch can't go out to the perimeter and defend KP, it's going to be a problem. I mean, you saw how KP neutralized Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively, 2 players that are very similar to Mitchell Robinson.
Right.
Those 2 players helped Dallas get to that point, but when they got to that point, that was a big issue for Dallas adjusting to because the personnel just did not match. So the way that the front office feels Julius fits, not only at the 4, but at the 5, I think, in addition to the finances, I think will be a big factor into if they feel they need to get someone else, replace him, or keep him here.
Yeah. No, I don't view him as expendable in the way that I think Above the Rim is saying, right? I've always said if they feel like they are, trying to contend, and which over the last few years they have shown that they're taking a charge and they look good, they're on a positive track there. You can't just trade them for nothing for draft capital to move forward. No, you need something equal or preferably better. So that I think, yeah, you're good, bro. No, good.
Does my mic still sound fine?
No, you're good. You're good to go.
So my neutral Knicks opinion is,
yeah,
in one way, yeah, it's just about a matter of style. Do you want to have this like? Do you want to have Randle or not? Because it's like his inclusion in this dynamic is like it's all like 2 completely different styles almost. Now, in one way, while getting Mikal Bridges is a significant upgrade, in a way you could I still feel like they might be not necessarily worse, but almost neutral because they haven't replaced Isaiah Hartenstein yet. Like what he brings on both ends of the court, it's like invaluable. And it's going to be really hard to replace that unless they do a big trade, which might involve Randle. So I think that's kind of why the interest in Karl Anthony Towns, whether you like him or not, whether you think he's like built to play in New York or not, where on the theory kind of makes sense where, okay, he's not on the defensive level as Isaiah Hartenstein, not even close. But as far as what he can do offensively, and then you have the Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby front court along with him. And then you have the Brunson, DiVincenzo backcourt. I think I would go with that type of style over the whatever it is with Randle plus whatever center there is now. That's just my opinion on it. I'm sure there's a lot of like opinions on that are against that, but I kind of like that style now that they have Bridges and Anunoby. Yeah. I wouldn't want to marginalize DiVincenzo either. I think I kind of like that type of theory of the team more. If you can get a center that is able to stretch the offense and still play a high level of defense, I think that is a really good path to follow.
Yeah, well said, man. Well said. And so, Yossi, we'll get ahead and drop you off. We're gonna go further on the Knicks talk. But definitely appreciate the time, man. All right, so we're going to drop Yoshi off. Hang tight. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. CP the Franchise, JD Sports Talk, Yoshi Goslin in the building. And Yoshi's going to drop off. So make sure that you guys are tapping in with him. And JD, give me 1 second here because JD, you can't hear me, right? Yeah, JD can't hear me. Sorry. So we got a little bit of a Zoom glitch. Hang on. We got a little bit of a Zoom glitch here. King Deej, go ahead and unmute your mic while I figure this out. Hang on. King Deej, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Mic check, mic check. Everything good?
Yep.
Technical difficulties okay?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll get it sorted out on the other end, but on my end, we're good. Go ahead.
No doubt, sir. So let me stall for time in the best way possible. Shout out to the chat gang. Definitely had a question for Yazi. That kind of sucks.
No. I'm getting him back in, so don't worry. Go ahead with your other stuff.
No doubt, no doubt. So in the meantime, hit that thumbs up button for your boy. We got 2.3, 500. Come on, y'all. Come on. This is a celebratory day. Got probably the second best point guard in New York Knicks history. And once he wins his championship, I would like to have a conversation with Clyde about how he feels about him being the first. So shout out to Jalen Brunson and CP. We've been here for years, man. Shout out to Leon the Don Rose, man. Leon Rose strikes again, man. You can't go against the family. I'm gonna Euro step that cat conversation because honestly, if it wasn't for you, CP, a lot of people would even be talking about it. I'm gonna keep it $150.
Yeah.
Your word, it means gold in this community. If it wasn't for you, we would not care about it. And I know obviously that's not from your thoughts because you already stated that you don't see your particular interest in it. But Leon's gonna do whatever he's gonna do. The trades always work. So I just wanna I had a question for Yasi and I'll land
he's
my
back.
plane.
He's back on now. Go ahead.
No doubt. My question is for Yasi because I do agree that Brunson sacrificed a lot in order for this team to be combined in the future. And I just love the fact that for the next 4 years, we got the same ages that the Boston Celtics have. Yazi, my question to you, and then I'm gonna shut up and fan and listen. What's the Mikal extension looking like if he was to sacrifice money? CP, shout out to you, man. Salute to the check-in.
Appreciate you, man. King Deej on the check-in. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I think we discussed this earlier, but it's essentially the identical extension Brunson just signed, 4 for 156, which would technically kind of be lower because with the cap going up, his extension would start later. It'd be even less of a percentage of the cap. It'd be, it's the same amount, but it'd be even saving the Knicks even more. So just another sub-max contract. If he takes it, that's just going to further extend the Knicks window.
All right, appreciate that. As we get in, JD, we got you in here, right? Your audio's good to go?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and what do you think, man? Give me your thoughts on the Bridges OG wing tandem here, man, because I'm just waiting. I'm ready for October to start with these two, man, getting after it.
Oh, that's gonna be I can't wait to see how they're utilized in terms of just individual matchups. Right, like it's going to give you an opportunity just in the regular season to just be entertained and see fun matchups on a night-to-night basis, depending on the personnel that they play, how they're going to utilize. Because these are two different types of defenders as well, similar heights, but OG is more built to, I would say, defend the DeMar DeRozans of the world, the Jason Tatums of the world, kind of like the lankier, bigger, guard forward, where Mikal Bridges, don't be surprised if he's the one that's defending guards more often. If you saw, a few players that gave OG trouble last year, all last season, I would say the only two players, all of his Knick tenure, that gave OG trouble was Kyrie Irving and Tyrese Maxey a little bit in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And you see the similarities between those two names, and a guy that's lighter like Mikal Bridges could have more success there. So and also offensively, CP, OG gave you some signs of potential in terms of being a little bit better offensively. Now it's interesting because now with the addition of Mikal, I don't know that his offensive numbers is actually going to improve, but his efficiency could improve because I expect him to have more open three-point opportunities. And let's see how Mikal is inserted into the offensive lineup, because as a Brooklyn Net, he took his offensive game to a different level. Will that be more of what we see, or will we see more of the Phoenix Suns Mikal Bridges, where he was a true 3-and-D wing player? So I'm excited about those two, and I don't know. Game one, do you want game one to be the Celtics?
Yes.
Or do you want game one to be the Sixers?
I want to go to Boston. Immediate. I think that's going to be the matchup. Opening night, ring ceremony. Let's go to any Philly, man. They ain't giving it 10 beat, and they didn't earn that. We want Boston. Let's go, man. Let's go. Adam Silver's doing the Birdman hand rub. Opening night, what's it going to be? NBC, Peacock, whatever it's at. We want Boston, bro. In Boston. Raise the banner up, number 18. Show Brunson the $156 million man. Bridges. Show the Nova crew. Let's go. Ready, man.
Let me ask you a question. If the Knicks are anything but a top 5 defensive team, you consider that a disappointment?
Yes.
High expectations.
Definitely. Oh, it
CP's
starts
not
now.
playing.
It starts now. Brunson got his bag. OG got his bag. We're in year 3. It's time, man. It's money time, man. We got Mikal Bridges. If we got 2 of the best perimeter wings in the league, this team, if Mitch is still there, or if Mitch is not here and they better get some suitable replacements, they have to be. You know?
All right, guys, I'm going to need to step out.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Thank you
Do your thing.
so much for having me on. This was a blast. It was awesome. I'd love to be on again if
absolutely
the situation calls for it. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, man. Just let everybody know where they can find you, man.
Everyone. Yeah, so you guys can check out my YouTube channel, just Yossi Goslin NBA, very salary cap centric stuff. I'll probably touch on what the Knicks just did pretty soon. On Twitter at Yossi Goslin, a lot of salary cap stuff there as well. And I have all my cap sheets on capsheets.com. I update them pretty in real time when updates happen. So if you want to get like a very good accurate update on like the salary cap situation for each team as stuff happen, capsheets.com.
There you go, man. I'll see you in Summer League. Great job, man. Thanks for coming on at short notice, bro.
See you there. Bye, everyone.
Sounds good, man. That was our guy, Yossi Goslin, man. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys, man. We breaking down the cap soup to nuts. We had to get it, man. We had to deal with the numbers today and really figure out what's what. Because this Brunson move was so unprecedented. We got to figure out what's the next move here. What is the next part of the equation? So that's what we're doing here, man. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. Number one show for the fans by the fans is on and popping. Doubleheader today on a July evening here, JD.
Is that true? That super chat from Ari?
Which one, Ari?
$2 super chat. Is that true?
Oh, Vegas has the Knicks at 55.5. Whoa,
whoa,
buddy. Whoa. They said, JD, you gotta need a little bit more cheese on them burgers, man. Whoa. 55.5. Damn, that's a little rich for my blood. Ask me again in September. I can't say right now.
And you know Vegas, they're mostly on the right side of things.
Yeah, 55.5. That's a major number, bro.
I would like to see how many teams are in that 55 or a half range. You would think that when Vegas has you that high, those are championship caliber teams.
Right.
So I'll just be interested to see how many of those are that high in the NBA, because that's pretty high, man.
Yeah, man. CP the Franchise, JD Sports Talk on the ones and twos. Salute to everybody in the chat once again, man. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Double-header edition of KnicksFanTV. And we are awaiting the group phase announcements of the NBA Cup. We're also going to be talking Summer League. Knicks' first Summer League game is tomorrow against Charlotte. Lots to talk about there. Remember, people in the chat, man, support our sponsors at Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com. Use our code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. Can't go wrong with any of Manscaped's products, especially now during the summertime, man. It's crazy hot out there. It's humid. Go ahead and get your Michael Jordan on, man, with the Lawnmower 5.0. You got the Beard Hedger kit, the Close-Knit Shaver, the Weed Whacker. Manscaped keeps you laced, man. Everything. Travel bags, boxers, cologne, deodorant, ball deodorant, foot deodorant. Everything you need, fellas, to keep yourself laced and make sure that you're taking care of your hygiene, man. Very important. So go to manscaped.com. Use our code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. No testimonials. Okay. All right, let's take some more calls, and then we'll get into a little Summer League action. 551, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
My name's Cal from Patterson. What's going on?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. Hey, I was just calling in for the Julius Randle stuff.
Yeah.
Basically, I just feel like, man, like, you know, we don't kind of recognize like the kind of player that we do have. I understand like all the things that Julius is going through, especially playoff time and things like that. But I mean, like I was looking up some stats, and I'm like, I see that Julius is one of 3 players in the decade, like as far as like since 2020 started, the average is 25, 10, and 5. The other 2, Jokic and Giannis. If you look at this year, as far as like the shooting numbers, you know, that these guys had or whatever like that before Julius went down, they were up. Even look at JB. He was able to take more spot-up threes. He was able to, you know, just sit around and chill a little bit because, you know, Julius driving kick game's real good.
Sure.
Does he make mistakes? Of course. But, I mean, like, this team was better numbers-wise, and I feel like they was almost unbeatable. Now that we got a full, you know, year under our belt with this full team, I'm like, you know, well, at least a half a year, I should say. You know, I'm like, the sky's the limit. 14-2 in January before, you know, he went down. I just say, you know, I know it's a little bit emotional that we do like Julius, but at the same time, I also feel like the front office is a little bit more emotional than they're looking at with the numbers of what Julius has here and what he provides here. But that's all I want to say.
Yeah, look,
Thanks,
I mean, I don't think anyone is understating his contributions here and the seasons that he's had. He's had great seasons for the Knicks. Will he be here long term is the question, and I guess we'll see. We'll start to find out as this year progresses, because the longer he goes without an extension.
Do you feel like it's a wait and see year for him?
I think so. I think so.
I do too. I think so too. And but the way that Julius is, at least as far as like attitude goes and stuff like that, what I see, the guy cares. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
I'm like, I see that he might be ready for this year, man.
No, that it's not a knock on you know his mentals or preparedness or anything like that. It's just, look, it's a business of basketball, man. The business of basketball sometimes just doesn't care about who came here first and who did what first. Nah, DeMar DeRozan did all that in Toronto. Masai Ujiri still shipped him out to get the bag, to get the chip, and they got it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens like that, man.
Thanks for taking my call, though, CP.
All right, man. Yeah, call back anytime. Good call, man. Rate that call in the chat. 1 being trash, 5 being facts. What do you think, man? Thought he had some good points there, Julius.
Yeah, he did, and you know it's gonna be, if he's here day one, it's gonna be. I think he's a player. It's gonna be interesting because for the Knicks, the fan base is gonna be waiting for him in the playoffs. Does he even get there? We don't know, because obviously a lot is going to depend on how the season starts, how they play, and how the team looks. So although fans like to say that, you know, the regular season doesn't matter and this and that, when you are a championship caliber team, it does matter, because you use the regular season to kind of, you know, for the Celtics it could be different. For the Nuggets, it could be different. For a team that has already won, and you kind of know who's going to be available in crunch time, you can use the season for different reasons. But when you're a team that's on the upswing, you've joined now the contending teams. Now you're viewed as a potential championship caliber team. That first half of the season is important before the trade deadline, because you want to know that you are on your way and that you have the personnel that can get you there. And so although for the Knicks fan base, you're actually looking at him for the playoffs, because of the new team here with OG resigning and Mikal Bridges and the added expectations. I think he has to have an equally outstanding regular season, and he has to show that he can fit with Jalen Brunson and the rest of the team in terms of, you know, championship level. I'm not talking about the 20-10 and the numbers. The numbers are going to be there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. The numbers are going to be there. The toughness is going to be there. Everything from Julius, from a regular season standpoint, is going to be there. But when you watch them play, do you see championship level? And I think the front office has adjusted now their evaluations, their expectation, because guess what? When a guy leaves $100 million on the table and he's your best player after coming off an MVP season, forget the feelings. There's no more. We fans, there's no more getting attached to players. That's done for. I already suffered with RJ being out and the kids being shipped out. I've already adjusted myself to championship or bust. Like, whoever it is, if it's Josh Hart, if it's Dante, whatever it takes from this point on, to me, it's about getting a championship, CP.
My guy JD said, by any means necessary.
If it means Mitch, there's a lot of rumors around some of these players. Bro, I love these guys. I hope it's this team. I wish it could be.
Yeah.
But you never know. And if it doesn't look that way, the front office has to pivot immediately, and you got to try to get us this championship because it's now or never.
Yeah. Hey, man, there's always the barbecue. The once a Nick, always a Nick barbecue. There's invitations that go out every year. You know what I mean? Most of these guys will get it. Some guys don't get it. There's always the once a Nick, always a Nick.
A lot of them came back this year for the barbecue.
Yeah, they did. They definitely did.
You know what I mean? And they got the same love.
Yeah, that's it.
So a lot of former players, from good eras, not so good eras, we saw it all. And they all got love.
It's about the championship, man.
They're all going to be welcome.
It's about the championship.
Once a Nick, always a Nick.
Danny Ainge had Paul Pierce packing his bags.
I mean, this is the only fan base that a player could come here for a month and he'll get traded and everybody's heartbroken.
It's the worst thing ever.
You know what I mean? So there's love for everyone.
I love it.
I want a chip, man.
Yeah, man. I love it, man. Back to the phones, man. 202. What's your name? Where you calling in from? We're going to talk. Let's go NBA Cup after this. Back to the phone. 202. What's your name? Where you calling in from? Hello? What's this guy doing, man? You whispering? What are you doing, man? Hello?
Doing a deal on the low? What's up with you?
Hello? All right, this guy doesn't have it together, man. I don't know what this guy was going on with, man. 540, what's your name? Where you calling in from?
CP, salute. It's your boy Chris from VA.
Salute.
By way of Brooklyn, New York.
Salute, man.
Yes,
salute.
Sir. Yes, sir. Historic day in Knicks history.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say a couple things real quick.
Sure.
Number one, man, I really hope we keep Julius, man. I really believe he's going to eat this year.
Mm-hmm.
All NBA season incoming, which leads to my next point. Don't be surprised when we have 3 All-Stars this season. All right?
Okay.
Lastly, has there ever been a more greater, a more selfless, a more unselfish move in the history of NBA than what we saw today? Give me y'all's thoughts. Salute, my boys.
Appreciate it, man. I mean, in the NBA, maybe when the Heatles took less to build that team.
As a tandem, you probably.
Yeah, as a trio.
But individually, it wasn't much. But as a tandem, you could say that.
Yeah, as a trio, right? I mean,
because they all left a little bit, but since they did it together, it allowed them to. I think it was Mike Miller. It was one guy that they tried to fit in their salary.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, across sports, they were talking with Tom Brady, Jeter, Mahomes. But in the NBA, this is next level, bro.
Yeah.
CP, let me ask you, keep it real.
Yeah.
They offered that to you. You leaving it on the table?
Bro. No sir, man. Nobody. Not all the wear and tear you got to go through, man, in an 82 game plus season, man. Nobody. That's why I'm always one of those guys. I tell the players, man, take your money, man. Go get your money, man. Go get your money. Whenever there's like a contract impasse between a player and an owner, I'm always on the player side, man. Go get your money, man. You know? You earned it. But it's a different situation. He has his head in the right place, man. In New York. This guy is different. It's different. And yes, he's building his star. He's not just in the house. He's not an introvert. He's building his star. He's building his brand, but he's doing it his way. He's doing it his way, man.
Maybe this started already, because when you look at it and put it into perspective, there's no way, CP, that a decision like this was just started to be thought about a month ago or after the season. You know how a lot of players, when they're entering a contract year, they always say at the end of their interviews that, when the season's over, I'll think about it. That's when I'll start my evaluation process.
Yeah.
And when I look at how he this year has really, like the Knicks have really pushed him from a marketing perspective, commercials, interviews, and all different types of platforms. That he started his own podcast. He's everywhere on billboards.
Yeah.
Even the NBA on TV commercials, NBA promos, channels have really put him in the forefront of their promotions. I wouldn't be surprised if this was thought about before this season even started, where this is a plan that we're gonna have for you as our main star, as the face of the franchise. We need you to participate. Get yourself out there. Open up your personality a little bit, man. Show us a little bit of your swag. And if you see him even on the court, off the court, he's been more emotional. He's been more vocal in his even leadership skills. I think this has been all just a plan together that has led for him to be so open about being able to cut this deal. Because, bro, I don't know if I would do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that, man.
Even with my friends over here. My friends over here.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about 156 to, what is it, 269? 269 if you would have waited. And taking a risk, an injury risk. Now, knock on wood. Knock on wood. He's made it through. We hope he makes it through again. But taking an injury risk as well.
Yeah, and on the other end, when you look at history, Dwayne Wade declined a little bit earlier than usual. He was 6'4", 6'3".
Mm-hmm. You
saw what happened with Isaiah Thomas with the injury and how that, and you see some of the smaller players. I do think there was some thought to that too. Like, listen, I'm 6'1", 6'2", and I'm more of the strong type of player that takes a lot of physical contact at the rim. So is there a little bit of concern that, he may not age as well and be that elite that late into his career? So I'm sure there was some thought of that and just getting the financial security now. But I mean, I say that, but I don't really think so either, because all you have to do is wait 1 year. You're not going to decline in 1 year.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you could get hurt in 1 year, but you're not going to decline in 1 year.
True.
So it's still a crazy, crazy deal.
True indeed, man. So to everybody in the chat, like, share, and subscribe. Go to shop.knicksfantv.com to get your snaps, man. The all-white KFTV joints are in stock. JD, I got to get you yours. And the New York versus the World joints are on the table. So there it is. Let's see what Gamba's sending me here. Strong expectations will also take a discount. Okay. Well, so this is Evan Sidery. This is Evan Sidery. Let's pull this one up here, JD. Well, we were just talking with Yossi about this, but this is a report from Evan Sidery that says that Mikal Bridges, it's widely expected that Mikal Bridges will take a discount on his upcoming long-term deal with the Knicks.
Bro, they try to be contenders for a decade. Forget a couple years.
Go!
Knowing how just silly they are and how tight their friendship is, they probably have a grand plan to retire all as Knicks. Let's do something weird. Let's just all retire on the same team. We're already here. Let's not go nowhere.
All we need is one. We just need one. That's it. Just one, bro. All we need is one, and this entire place will be turned upside down. The entire league will be turned upside down. All we need is one. Just one. Just one.
I don't know what I would do.
I don't know either, man.
Bro, all we need is one, bro. Do as a platform. I don't even know. Oh my God.
All we need is one, man. Rare edition. Franchise channel member says, Brunson is the number one New York sports figure, great marketing commodity, better than Judge, Rodgers, whoever. Oh, forget Aaron Rodgers, man. Forget that. He's a rental. Aaron Rodgers ain't built for this. All right, who else we got here on the phones? I'll take one more, and then we'll get into in-season tournament stuff. Let's go 202. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man.
Good. This is Marlin.
Salute.
So I'm calling about the Julius Randle slander.
Here we go. Why does it have to be slander, though? Can you explain that? First, start with that. Why is that slander? Why is it slander?
Okay, real simple. The Knicks don't have nobody on the court last season that's over 6'8" that scored that can score.
Okay.
Nobody on the court that can score more than 10 points.
Okay.
That's one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how many NBA teams in the league get scoring that don't get scored from inside?
Okay.
No teams.
But
you need a Julius Randle. And when you go ahead.
No, but what I'm saying with the slander talk, because I'm seeing a lot of fans with it in the chat. Stop bullying, stop doing this, stop doing that. We're not saying trade him. Nobody's saying trade him.
No, but it's not even shouldn't even be a question. You don't have no scoring. The Knicks as a team don't even know how to really get their bigs off to score. You know what I mean? So Julius Randle's the only person on the team that can actually get a bucket on his own.
Okay.
That's over 6'8". He's the only one, right?
Okay.
So you lose Julius Randle, and then you go for Cupcake Karl-Anthony Towns.
Okay.
He's the only one that's going to rep that's repping New York the right way. New York is a tough city.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we got all wings. When you go into a battle, you don't want just handguns or this. When you go into a battle, you want everything. You want everything at your exposure.
Right.
So you got finesse. You got shooting. Now you got the grinding of Julius Randle. You got everything you need. We got to stop this thing about we can do better without Julius Randle. It doesn't even make sense. It's not even sensible. Like, doesn't even make sense, for real.
I get what
you need.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That battle-tested figure. You need that body.
No question.
You don't go to pick a basketball game and be like, yo, you know what? I see that 6'8", 250-pound dude over there. Nah, I'm going to go for that 6'2" guard.
Right.
When you got four other guards on the court. You don't do that.
Yeah. No, listen, I hear what you're saying. The issue is, the problem is, like, right, with the Randle Hives, like, man, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? I get somebody saying, man, stop talking about Cat. You sound like ESPN. I didn't make it up. like, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, this was not. There was people commented on the town video, like, bro, this is a terrible take. This is a terrible idea. It's not a take. This is not an opinion. Nor did I say that they're definitely trading him, and nor did I say that they're definitely trading him for Cat. All I said is that everything that you've heard about Cat is a fact in terms of their interest. That's it. Well, fans are taking it like, oh, you guys hate Randle. You guys want him out of there. You guys want this. No. I just said they like Cat. They want Cat. What happens from here, we'll see.
Okay, so I'm not putting it on you.
Yeah.
But for people that call into the show and be like, I want to trade Randle for a bag of potato chips and all type of stupidness they be saying, they're crazy talk. That's crazy talk. Randle is you literally have every option in a basketball game now with the Knicks. The Knicks have every single option. They got guards, they got shooting, they got speed. We got power in Julius Randle. I mean, and everybody keeps talking about Hartenstein. Like they would kept Hartenstein and got rid of Julius Randle. Makes no sense because Julius Randle is actually a bucket. So when you get the ball to Hartenstein and you run off the screen and stuff like that, max he's getting is 10 points.
Yeah.
Last 2 games, he scored, 6 points total in 2 games at the end of the season? If you give Julius Randle the ball 10 times, he's not coming out with 10 points. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that doesn't make any – the same thing as Hartenstein do once you get Julius Randle back, that's what's going to happen. And you're going to have 4 guys on the court, at least 4 guys on the court that are going to kill. Boston didn't do nothing. All Boston did was beat 4 teams that were injured. So this whole we preparing for Boston thing, Boston did nothing but beat 4 injured teams, and they made it to the playoffs against Dallas Mavericks.
You are conflating the style of the fighter and how they won the belt. You know what I'm saying? You're conflating the two things.
Okay.
It's how they're constructed, not the fact that they had an easy path to the championship.
Right, but everybody knows that if the Knicks were there, I mean, how many times I've heard you say, if the Knicks were healthy, from from January. If Julius Randle never got hurt and Knicks stayed healthy, come on now. We might have been celebrating the ring in New York before Boston.
That's fair. All right, man. I'm gonna drop you off, man. Call back anytime, man.
All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Man. Take care.
Appreciate it. Yeah, his call was coming in a little bit too low. I was trying to get it up a little bit. Guys, people on the phones, get with the Discord, man. We need you guys on the Discord. It's much better audio. It's a much better experience. I keep the phones on for the people who aren't as tech savvy, but ideally, I would like to get everybody on the Discord so that we we can have that HD quality sound. JD, the in-season tournament teams have been announced. Oh, it is the NBA Cup. Put some respect on the name and sponsored by Emirates. Okay, so we've got the sponsor, we've got the money in here, and now it is the NBA Cup. Groups have been announced. Knicks are in Group A. And once again, the teams were randomly drawn into groups of 5 within their conference based on win-loss records from last season. Here are the groups. The New York Knicks are in Group A, the number 1 seed. Put some respect on our name, in-season tournament. Knicks, Magic, Sixers, Nets, and Hornets. What do you think, man? Let's break it down. What do you think?
Are you hearing me okay? Everyone's hearing?
Yeah.
Audio's good? Audio's good?
Yeah.
All right. Because on the Zoom, it's a little choppy for me.
All right.
Now, let me ask you this. The Knicks are the number 1 seed on this group. Does that stay that way no matter what happens in the season?
That's a good question. You can hear me okay, right? You can hear me okay? All right. We lost JD. Let me reset the Zoom. Reset the Zoom one more time and jump it back in. We got to get the Zoom thing fixed. I'm not sure what the issue is here. I did a Zoom update and still didn't work. But we'll get it popping, man. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. CP the Franchise, JD Sports Talk in the building. Just a little host glitch here, but we'll get him back up and running. We are talking about the in-season tournament and the teams that have been announced. So just stick with us, and we'll get JD back in the building. So to Mike, $5 super chat from Mike says, these Jew lovers never mention how his offense used to dictate his defense. We cannot have that now. Zero tolerance. Okay. So Mike putting it down. You gotta play defense out here. Okay, no problem on that, Mike. All right, here we go. We got JD back. All right, JD, go ahead, back to your point.
No, I was saying, in terms of I was wondering if the Knicks would still be the number 1 seed regardless of their season record.
I think so.
I think so, right?
Yeah.
I think that this is decided. First thoughts on the group. Nice, competitive.
It's a nice group.
Nice group because the Magic, the Magic are expected to take a next step in their ascension as a young basketball team, and then the 76ers are, they're that's going to be, another elevated matchup. So it's fun. It's going to be interesting to see the second season now with this. How do the players take it this time around as well, in terms of like how serious they and how passionate they are about this second season? Because you would think, when you start a business, a idea, whatever, at first it's a little bit tricky. Although, as you mentioned, it was a success last season, CP.
Yeah,
it was a success, and you saw and I think they try to adapt to the younger demographic now with the colors on the court and the graphics and the gaming with the generation today. So let's see how it goes up another level. It was very highly competitive last season, so you would think now, with more money being involved, and a second season into this new tournament, that it's going to be just as fun, if not better. So I look forward to it. Maybe next season will be a season where the Knicks can win the NBA Cup and the NBA championship. Imagine that, the first time since the 70s where you can get a championship and you can have also an NBA Cup on the trophy case. So that would be something to look forward to.
I mean, Nets and Charlotte, those are bottom feeders. That shouldn't be an issue. But you got Orlando, you have Philly. The Philly rivalry continues in-season tournament style, so that should be interesting. That'll bring an uptick to the Philly matchup this year. And Orlando as well, getting KCP. They're going to take a step up. You got Paolo going into his third year. Franz just got the bag. Magic running it back. They're going to have a little bit more expectations next year as well. Young team turning into a more veteran team. So let's see what happens there.
Who you putting on Paul George?
OG. Well, it depends on the lineup and on where Philly goes. How do they stack up? Right? Do they go Maxey? Who do they run at the 2? Because they got options out. Do they go Caleb Martin? Oubre George? Do they put George at the 4, George at the 3? They've got some options there.
You would think, obviously Maxey and Embiid and George are obviously your lock starters.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at 2 spots for Kelly Oubre, Caleb Martin, and Kyle Lowry. Does Jared McCain get a start?
Could be. I can't see Kyle Lowry starting, man. I mean, how long does that experiment go to, man?
Right.
I can't see Kyle Lowry starting.
Do they go with the young Jared McCain? Sometimes teams do that early on. How about Eric Gordon, a veteran starter throughout, where he's just going to be asked to shoot threes?
Yeah.
He was doing that in Phoenix, and he's been a starter for most of his career. So I would think it would be, between Eric Gordon, Caleb Martin, and then maybe the youngster, Kelly Oubre.
Yeah.
Those 3. Pick 2 starters of those 3, and that's your starting 5.
For sure. Hey, man, salute to CM, a.k.a. Creative, just gifted 20 KnicksFanTV franchise channel memberships. So the giving continues, man. Salute, man. We're celebrating Jalen Brunson giving back to the Knicks. And CM, a.k.a. Creative, is giving a KFTV, man, 20 franchise channel memberships, man. Welcome to all of our new members. If you received that franchise channel membership, go ahead and let us know in the chat, man.
Throw your first emojis.
Throw your first emoji in the chat.
First channel member emojis.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay, let's see. This is Ian Begley had sent this table here, this matrix, in terms of how the matchups are going to work. So the Knicks will have home games against Brooklyn, Orlando, and then they will play an away game against Charlotte and Philly. So those are the 4 games.
Don't catch a headache there, CP.
Yeah, man. This is fonts, man, small. I don't got my glasses. I'm about to do the eye test.
Don't get a migraine.
Man, I can't find my glasses either. That thing's super small. But yeah, so home games against Brooklyn and Orlando, away games against Philly and Charlotte. All right, there it is. All right, looking forward to it, man. Definitely looking forward to that. Let's take a look at the other groups real quick, and then we'll move on to Summer League. CP the Franchise, JD Sports Talk here. Let's take a look at the other groups. See which one's the most intriguing. You have West Group A. You have Minnesota, the Clippers, Kings, Rockets, Blazers. Nothing.
Did you say which other B or C you like in the East?
Oh, let me take a look.
Other than obviously the Knicks, which is Group A. B or C?
B, definitely B. Easily B, easily. You got the Bucks, the Pacers, Miami. You got RJ and Quick and them in Toronto. Scotty Barnes just got the bag. RJ, Quick, and Barnes getting the bag over there.
Man, the Celtics are going to coast.
Yeah, Celtics, easy one. Easy one for the C's, man.
3 rebuilding teams.
Yeah. That's an easy road for the C's. So they get an easy path. West Group. Let's see which West Group has the best. It's got to be B. Well, C. I think C's going to be a crazy one. Yeah. C's going to be a crazy one. Because where with the whole John Moran situation, where that put Memphis, it's going to stack up C. So you have the Nuggets, the Mavs, Pelicans, Warriors, and Ja with Memphis. That's the best group in the West.
You got Dallas with with Najee Marshall, Quentin Grimes, and Klay Thompson. They Pelicans with DeJounte Murray.
Yeah.
Zion another season. I mean, you saw him in the playoffs before he got hurt, how he dominated there. Memphis, starting from scratch, getting a fresh, clean slate. And then let's see how the Warriors end the offseason. They're going to be a tricky team.
Do they get marketing?
If they get marketing. B is also very intriguing because what do the Spurs look like now in year 2 with Wembanyama and then Chris Paul? I mean, you could see Chris Paul turn back the clock a few years playing with Wembanyama, and then obviously Lakers, Phoenix, OKC, and then I would say Utah is going to be obviously the weak point of that group. So I would say C is most intriguing there in the West.
Big time. Big time, man. CP the Franchise, JD Sports Talk here. Call us up, 657-383-1509 is the number to call. Let's go to 919 on the phones. What's your name? Where you calling in from?
Peace, blessings, and positive vibes.
There he is.
What's going on with you guys?
Shameek, how you feeling, man?
I'm all right, man. I am curious, though, why is there so much Julius Randle talk? Trade talk, rather. This man... He was the first one before we got Brunson and everybody else. He was the first one that chose to come to New York, and everybody's ready to get rid of him. I don't understand it. And then for somebody like Karl Anthony Towns, who's always injured, I'm with you. I don't think he's mentally tough enough. And just for some outside shooting or whatever, or to play the position to play Porzingis, I guess I should say, because that's what everybody's complaining about. I don't get he's a unicorn for a reason. They call him a unicorn for a reason. Him and Embiid are the only ones that really shoot threes.
Yeah.
And guess what? We handled Embiid last year without without Anthony Towns. So I don't understand the trade talk, man. I just don't get it. Julius Randle is a 25, 10, and 5 guy. We need to keep him. Only person that I believe that is better than him at his position is Giannis, and we're not getting Giannis. Why don't we just play with what we have and let's rock it out? Let's roll with it.
Yeah.
That's all. Peace, blessings, and positive vibes. Y'all be easy,
Peace, man. Yeah, that's what I said. I mean, the only two people who I'd be open to trade him for is Giannis, and I would trade him for KD. I would. Yeah, I would. Giannis and KD, those would be the two guys. But, I mean, if not, I'm good with running it back with Julius. But I think it is reasonable to wonder what the future holds with him if they do not come to terms on an extension past next season. Yeah, that's all. All right.
And the one thing I'll add, CP, is I know fans are gonna begin that whole frustration with trade talk. We this is uncharted territory for us as a fan base and everything. But if you guys haven't been paying attention, this is actually what begins to happen when teams are close. Right? Look at all those Lakers seasons. It's like as soon as anything happens close to a disappointment, there's pressure to make a move. Look at the Celtics. There was pressure to make a move. They went out.
Yeah.
Holiday, KP. Even minor moves. Look at Dallas. They made a few moves. Look where it got them. When you're this close now, Vegas has you as 55.5 wins. There's only so many pieces in this roster. When you look at this roster and you look at salary, I mean, I even begun to see Deuce McBride in a few rumors. You think I want to see Deuce McBride in trade rumors? No way. The way his value as a contract and how hard he's worked to get to where he's at. But unfortunately, when you're close, you're going to start to see even more rumors pop up because the front office is looking for the final piece. And when you look at this core, you would think that the Dantes and the Harts and the Bridges and the Brunsons, obviously you think those guys are locks. Then you got your draft class. Anything can happen there. And then is the next group. That next group are all candidates to potentially be in trade discussions. So it's just going to be is going to happen. And quite frankly, especially when you have a guy that's due up for an extension, he's going to be up in most of these rumors because of the salary cap potential ramifications, and the amount number matches to make a trade. So it's just part of the territory. And no matter what we say, CP, it's not like we're going to stop the reports.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. Stop the talk. All right, man. Okay. All right. Summer League. It's Knicks debut tomorrow against the Charlotte Hornets. And I'm very interested in Summer League this year. Last year, not so much. This year, very much so, because you have not only all of the Knicks draft picks this year will be playing, Jacob Toppin will also be playing. Rokas Jokubaitis will be playing. However, today it was announced that there are rumors that even though he will be on the team, he could be transferring from Barcelona to Žalgiris, which is a club in Lithuania. But anyway, he's on the team as well. Very much looking forward to seeing what Kolek has to offer. Pacome Dadier, who the Knicks bought out for almost $1 million. So clearly they have big plans for him. Potentially in their rotation, whether it's the G League or, to orchestrate his buyout. I think the Knicks see something from him that maybe he can contribute maybe a little bit this year, maybe next year, but they got plans for him. And then you got Kolek, you got Hawkporty as well. I like how this roster looks, man.
Who you say they got plans for?
Dadier.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was their first pick, and you made the point there because he said it from his first interview.
I'm not leaving.
Yo, I ain't going no. I'm here. So at the time, people were making jokes because people were like, "Slow down, Rook."
Yeah.
You don't override the front office. I don't know if you've talked to Leon yet. And yet, when you see what's transpired since and where we are today, maybe they already knew. Maybe there was discussions. And there is a plan for this youngster to get some playing time at some point. Because although he's so young, you know how it is, CP, in this era now with the 6'8", 6'9" wing. Like, teams want to expedite the development process of those players just because it's at a premium.
Yeah.
So once you have that player, yes, you want to develop him, but you don't want to just stash him for 5 years. You want to use that ability. That's why you drafted him, so that you don't have to spend assets to go out in the trade market to get the next 6'8", 6'9" guy. So once you have him, you want to expedite that development process, and you want to expedite the evaluation. I mean, does this guy have a skill set that we can develop and put out on the NBA floor? You want to get to know that as soon as possible, especially when you are where the Knicks are now, where you're going to decide, is he a piece that we can use off the bench, like a Christian Braun at some point for the Nuggets, some of these young players that get included, or is he a piece that we can use for a trade chip in a season or two? Like, either or, you want to get those evaluations. So I'm excited. Is he the player you're most looking forward to in the roster?
Him and Kolek. Now, according to Fred Katz, which you had to expect, Kevin McCullough is not going to play because he's still rehabbing. He did get hurt late, so had to expect that he wasn't going to play. But yeah, the two guys who, if this Rokas stuff is true, then it's Kolek and Dadier, man, and Hawkporty, because does Hawkporty surprise enough where, because this team still doesn't have a true backup center right now. Precious hasn't been signed yet. What's up with that? That seems to be taking mad long. Like, what's going on with the Precious thing?
Interesting, right?
Very interesting. So, does this guy have something? A lot of people are hyping him up. A lot of people like him. So I'd like to see what he's about. I wonder who on Charlotte will be playing at the 5. But I would have to think going into this, he's going to be starting at the 5 for the Knicks.
You mean on the Charlotte real team or the Summer League team?
Summer League team. I don't think Mark Williams will be playing again, would he? Unless
90 seconds.
Unless they feel like he needs work.
Because Mark Williams has had some back issues, so
okay.
I don't think they're gonna put him on the Summer League.
All right, there you go.
Or maybe it's your boy Jacob Toppin.
Playing the 5?
Yeah.
What? What?
Well, you don't want to keep the discussion of a topic not getting minutes? We can keep doing that. Man. Obi's not here, but his brother's here.
So it's definitely those three, man. Pacome, it's Kolek, it's Huckporty. Let's go with it, man.
What's up with Rokas, man? What we gonna do? What we gonna do with him?
I don't know. It just seems like opportunity's just not there yet, man.
I mean, let's see what happens, because if they make a move, guard goes, I've heard, Deuce and Nick Richards and different things being discussed. Maybe they go late in the season, they change things up and say, hey, we need you for guard depth. But that's why they also drafted Kolek. So, but it's like at some point, that's why he might be low key one of my most interesting guys that I'm going to look at, just because I just want to see where he's at today and if it's NBA caliber. Like, is this even a discussion? Like, I'm saying today, what's going to happen tomorrow, I might be like, okay, no wonder, just keep him over there. So like, I just want to see, is he worth, having these discussions about, like, do you want to come to the NBA or not? And I can also understand from his standpoint, maybe he does want to come to the NBA, but he just doesn't see a lane to play in minutes because of Tom Thibodeau and obviously Brunson with the max, and then Kolek as a draft pick, Deuce. But I just want to see where his skill set is at today versus some sort of NBA caliber players.
No, I agree with you there, man. I definitely agree. So unfortunately, according to the report, it doesn't seem like he is a roster. It doesn't seem like he has a roster spot guaranteed. Here. Oh, I got the show on repeat. I'm on replay gang already. The show's not even over. So, yeah, it doesn't seem like he's got a guaranteed roster spot, but you never know. Things could change, man.
And if Paco plays well, oh, God, the overreaction.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is the next group of hives that are going to be created.
Yes, the Dadier hive is on the way, man.
That has like a Frank stench to it. Like, he has Frank-like vibes in terms of the potential of this hive. Did you know where Frank couldn't do no wrong? People would say he had talent forever.
Did you see Frank today? Frank versus Serbia?
Yeah.
He hit a 3. Frank hit a 3.
I don't know if you meant that the way that it actually you said. I don't think you meant that as a joke, but you were like, he hit a 3.
He hit a 3, man.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't know what he ended up with, but shout out to Frank, man. Shout out to Frank holding it down and keeping the dream alive. I don't know who won that game, France versus Serbia. That was a
that was
Olympic
Jokic
friendly.
versus Wembanyama.
That
was Wembanyama hit Jokic with a step back 3.
Yep.
That was. But yeah, I don't know who won either.
I was trying to find this. I did interview you, Rokas, a couple years ago when you first played on Summer League. I'm trying to pull that interview up on the archives. Can't find it here. You know what? I think I can. Hang tight. So to everybody in the chat once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. CP and JD on the 1s and 2s. Let's go to JBK HTown on the Discord. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Come on, CP. That's simple,
CP,
man.
JD, y'all can hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
All right, if my service is bad, I apologize. I'm out here in Houston. We don't have no power, all that stuff. So service is terrible. But first off, Frankie, man, you brought back memories. That was one of the only guards I felt like he couldn't get past nobody 1-on-1. But that's a whole nother story. But the whole cat stuff, I really don't understand the talk of it. I know you said that they're interested, but I don't even know why they would be interested, especially after the playoff, it's like against the Mavericks that he had. He was going against, no offense, they're decent players, but Gafford and Lively, against that unit, he should have dominated, and he didn't. And I feel like if he did that in New York, we want him up out of here. Like, if he had that performance that he had in New York, we want him out of here.
Yeah.
And with the whole Julius stuff, I get what JD was saying is that when a team is close, they start making moves like that. But with Julius Randle, we've actually never seen it all together. Like, he had one bad playoff run, and that's when our team wasn't as good as it is now. We saw him against the Cavs last year, and we saw the potential that we have with him. So it's like the last couple of times he's just been hurt. So it's all about imagining him on the court with that amount of floor spacing, with him not being the focal point where he can just play that number 2 role and actually seeing him in that role in the playoffs. So I feel like we can't pull the trigger without even seeing that first. And then last thing, the Jalen Brunson thing is not quite the same scenario, but it kind of reminds me of when Steph Curry he didn't make the All-Star team. So he was like, it was an extremely team-friendly deal. And they were able to make that move to get KD and all of that because of the salary cap. And just him, but the fact that he did that on his own willing, because he would have made way more, I feel like it's really going to put us in a position to do something great, in a year or two. And I feel like that's him building his legacy in New York, because with his unselfishness, with the way that he plays, and if we're able to win something with him at the focal point, he might be the biggest thing like in New York history since like Claude and him. So I feel like he's really building his legacy.
Big time.
But that's all.
Well said, man.
That's all I have for y'all. Hope y'all have a good night.
Well said, man. You too, man. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe out there. Good points. Good
Appreciate
points,
it.
man. Shout out to CM, a.k.a. Creative. He's the guy that gifted 20 franchise channel memberships, man. He dropped a super chat, $5 super chat. Says, Brunson blessed us by taking a pay cut, so I had to show love to my Knicks family, man. Definitely appreciate the support. Okay, I did find the Rokas tape. All right, when was this? This was 2 years ago. This is 2 years ago, August 6, 2021, Summer League. And here was Rokas with the media. I sat in on this one and got to ask Rokas a question. Let me see where my question is at here. Let me see if this is it. Hang on. Here we go.
Casey Powell.
Oh, there we go. Rokas, what do you think will be the biggest adjustment you'll need to make at the NBA level?
The biggest adjustments I would need, I think, the aggressiveness, contact level, like speed of basketball is higher than in Europe. So, in these few practices, I saw that where I can be better because the tempo and stuff like that, I'm not used to that. But playing in this system, I would need some time, but I think I would improve, and I will improve. And yeah, I think we will see in Summer League what do I need more to be in a top league in the world. But yeah, right now, as I can see, this, I'm not used to that speed, aggressiveness, and yeah.
All right, so that was Rokas' answer, man. Needed to get used to the speed and the aggressiveness.
Great job.
See, man.
My man CP asked what they call, that was evergreen content.
Absolutely.
Asked the question that, 2 years ago, 2 years later, we're still trying to find the answer, right?
Right. And I think he is too by coming out to Vegas again to play. I believe that when he did play, he played like 2 games, and no, it was Vildoza that got hurt. I don't remember what happened, Rokas. He didn't play the entire Summer League though.
Right. He played a few games.
Yeah.
He hit a couple threes. He showed flashes.
Yeah.
Some flair, some little Gorandragic movements.
Yeah.
And then you saw some of that speed at times, kind of him making an adjustment. So, a couple seasons later, let's see how he looks tomorrow and in this Summer League. And will he play all games as well?
Right.
It's another thing to look forward to.
Right. Exactly. Especially if they don't think they got plans for him. He might not even play. I could imagine maybe Kolek gets even more playing time over him. Got to see what the politics looks like with that. Who's going to start? Who starts?
Who runs the offense tomorrow?
Who's running the show tomorrow?
I low-key, with Kevin McCullough, I think they both start tomorrow.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true.
I think you'll see Rokas, Kolek, Hakporty, Paco, and Toppin.
Okay.
If McCullough was there, it would have been interesting because he's a draft pick. So now you would think if McCullough was there, he would have to play the 2. Then who's your 1? But with him out, you got the main players. You got 5 of them. Kind of reminds me of a few seasons where you had McBride, Sims, you had Quickly, and you had all 5. It wasn't like the greatest 5, but you had 5 players, and the Knicks just started them all, I think you may see something similar like that tomorrow. But who runs the offense?
Who runs the offense?
They can play together, but who's bringing the ball up the court?
I'm locked in, definitely locked in. And I have so this was done. This was a remote press conference. So it was me, Bondi from the Post at the time. He was Daily News. Steve Popper, Newsday. Vorkenhoff from The Athletic when he was covering the Knicks at the time. And look at Berman. Berman looked like he can't figure out his webcam because you got half of Berman's head in the shot.
Berman trying to figure out where he's at.
At this point, Berman said, yo, I got to retire, man. What's up with all of this, man? Back in the days, I was using a tape recorder. Now I got to do all this computers and webcams. Berman looking flustered over there. I think that was the moment he realized, I got to take my ass to Florida. I'm done. I'm done with this, man. Oh, man. Shout out to Berman, man. He's still lobbing grenades over the fence. I love it. You know, retired and all, he's still reporting things from South Florida. So definitely shout out to him. For everybody headed to Summer League once again, the KFTV Knicks Film School meetup is gonna be on Sunday, this Sunday, 8:30 p.m. Pacific time at the Tilted Kilt. CP the franchise, Jonathan Macri, our friends at Knicks Film School, 3545 Las Vegas Boulevard. It's in the Link Promenade. The Tilted Kilt. Meet us there. Classy joint, 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. We'll see y'all there, man. Looking forward to seeing everybody out there. And we'll get to catch some Summer League action. I think CK2K is on the way out there as well. And there it is. Isaiah Ellis, what's the emphasis on Summer League? Wins or developments? Definitely development. And a tryout for some guys, you know, if they can impress. Maybe that leads to a training camp invite. I don't think wins really matter as much as, you know, how the guys look in terms of how they play. So, and shout out to Coach Yashimoto as well. Good guy as well, man. Shout out to Dice. Okay, who else we got here? A couple more before we wrap. Bill in Barcelona on the Discord. Bill in Barcelona. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Oh.
Yes.
First time, long time.
Hey,
long time.
How are you, man? Are you in Barcelona, Bill?
I'm in Barcelona.
Oh, man.
No Rokas updates. I ain't seen him at the jazz clubs. That's what I do for a living.
Oh, did you used to see him? You used to see him out?
No, I never seen him out. That's what I'm saying. No
okay,
update.
Gotcha. Okay,
you don't go where I go.
Okay, gotcha.
But, man, first time, long time. I've been with you guys since you were debating, like, Mike Miller.
Nice.
You know?
Nice.
You know, all through it all. But rapid fire, because I know you're winding up.
Yeah.
Man, first of all, great show. CP, JD, laying it all down. You don't even need vowels. You know, killing it. Really enjoyed it all these years, especially from Barcelona. I can watch it the next day. Every now and then I'd stay up. Tough loss. I stay up to, you know, get help. You know, but I've just been watching. But this team, couple quick things. First of all, like, people say, what team is this like from the past? And to me, I see it like the Bad Boy Pistons, but kind of a bizarro version. You know, it's like the good boys, the good guys.
Yeah.
You know, you got Jalen, number 11, two-time champion, like Isaiah, champion, except Jalen was picked 33. You know?
Yeah.
You got Tom Thibodeau, you know, adult, treats him like a man, hard on defense. The team shares the ball. Now, he's not the dresser, though, that Chuck Daly is. You know, he's probably the worst dresser ever.
Yeah, right.
Chuck's the best. You know, we can go on and on. We can say Josh Hart, Rodman. You know, we can say Mitch, John Sally, whatever. But this talk about trading Randle for Cat, that is backwards. I mean, that's Charles Smith 2.0. That's like one of those that we say if we hadn't done that, you know what I mean? I can just see it. And if they really want to trade Randle or he really don't want to be there, you don't want to trade him for someone who's going to take away shots for all these guys, the other guys who can score. You know, if they want to go anything, go tougher. If they have to trade Randle, which I don't want, but if they do, trade him for someone who costs the same and make you tougher. Trade him for Draymond. Trade him for Draymond, man.
Wow, man.
If you got to do that, they got to do that, because Julius would thrive in Golden State. Draymond off the bench, all of a sudden, all these people who bully us, Embiid, whatever, they got one coming, and we can live with the suspensions because we're so deep, and take care of your backup center. But it's a crazy idea. No one agreed with me, but the Knicks are the good guys. You guys are the good guys, and man, I just want to say thank you. 51 years old, Knick fan forever, and y'all kept me company because we all know in those rough years, everyone dropped out.
Yeah,
I mean, best friend, if they don't want to hear about Quintel Woods.
If you were with us when we were debating Mike Miller, if he was the coach of the future, you were definitely a day one. So appreciate the call.
No, I was in there. Yeah. No, I remember the old. I'm not going to mention everyone by name, but I remember all the other hosts.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Stratocaster who still putting in work.
Absolutely.
The whole thing. I've seen it. I'm happy for you guys.
Appreciate
Proud of
it,
you
man.
As an independent artist. I think of that as a role model. Just make your thing happen. Just put it out there. And, if you got something to say, there's an ear waiting for you, and you guys would like that. So, anyway, all the best. And, I know no one agrees with the Draymond idea.
The tomatoes are coming in for you, man. I'm trying to cover for you, but I can't say
it's cold. But you know what? It's hot here in Barcelona. I'll make some gazpacho. We good.
All right, man. Stay up, bro.
All right, thanks.
Bill in Barcelona on the check-in. Tried to save him, man. He came in hot. He was showing love, and he's day one. He proved his day one ship. Then he came out with the Draymond stuff, man. Boy, oh boy, came in with the Draymond stuff, man. Crazy. All right, let me get Dan from New Jersey in here. Dan, go ahead and unmute your mic. Go ahead. Last call of the night.
Wah.
You in here heavy, man. Let's go, man. To close us out properly.
CP, this has been a historic offseason for the Knicks, man.
Mm-hmm.
From securing the Mikal Bridges trade, we may have lost iHeart. Wasn't our fault. He got a bag, bro. Listen, we just locked up Jalen Brunson for the next 5 years, 4-year extension, $156 million. Left all that money out there. Listen, man, nothing is guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed. He might not get that money back, but he knows that he's doing this because he wants to bring a championship to this city, man.
Yeah.
This guy wanted to win with us. And trust me, man, he's been a winner everywhere he's went. He chose to be a winner with us. He chose to take us to where he knows he can get us to. Like, he knows he can win a championship with the right people around him. He knows that he's got a shot with these guys. I have full faith in Leon Rose and Worldwide West and Gerson Rosas, everybody else who's in there. A lot of cooks in that kitchen. I don't even know who employs them. Brock Aller.
Yeah.
But listen, man, I mean, you got to give credit to the Knicks organization top to bottom. This has been a magnificent run so far with Leon Rose from the little things in the beginning. I remember back when they traded down both of their picks, they were able to pick up IQ. I remember like the little things, the Quentin Grimes, the Deuce McBrides.
Yeah.
And it's been steady incremental improvements from this front office, but those steady incremental improvements told me that they were patient and that they were going to wait for the right time. Now that the right time is here, they've made their big moves and we are set up to compete for the next 4 to 5 years.
Yeah, there you go, man. Well said, man. Couldn't have said it better myself. Way to close it out, bro. Well said, bro. Dan from New Jersey on the check-in, man. All right. Great show, man. Great show. We're in July 12th here. And just when we thought that this Knicks team was going to give us a little bit of a break,
oof,
they just keep on going.
I had to check the count. I'm like, wait, are we in mid-season form here? Like, what's going on?
It is amazing, man.
This conversation the night before, and then you got Summer League tomorrow. It's not your typical Summer League season. Like, there's actually a lot to look forward to. There's a lot of excitement with the draft class on the eve of the Brunson news, and obviously now the everyday conversation of is this, because I think that's going to be the remaining question, CP, of this team. Do we have enough? or do we need to make another move?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be the most intriguing part of this, the rest of this offseason, and if they stand pat, to start the new season. So can't wait for tomorrow and lock in.
Lock in, man. Let me make sure I didn't miss super chats because I missed a couple early, and I'm gonna address those as well.
When you
to
out?
everybody. Sunday. Sunday we'll be headed there, man. So looking forward to touching down and connecting with everybody on the ground and getting to work, man. I got a busy week ahead, man. So just trying to get my ducks in a row. About to start packing tonight.
Are you doing a show out there from the studio?
We will be doing a show. Location TBD. But yeah, definitely we'll be doing post-game shows and some more content as well. Got sports business classroom stuff as well, man. So lots going on. Got to get ready to pack after this and get to it, man. Hopefully no more news coming on the way, man. Every time I turn my back, they make something happen, man. I'm at the Met game of Cal Bridges. I'm out riding my bike. Brunson deal. Let's see.
Look, you're riding your bike, but look at where the nice sunshine by the water.
You got to get the mentals right.
Life is good, CP. Life is good. Huh?
Got to get the mentals right.
That CAA, paycheck's hitting pretty good. To improving the view.
Hey, man, got to take care of the health, man. Shout out to Leonida, man, for sure. Who else we got? Okay, Stop the Panic. Franchise channel member says True King of New York. Absolutely. Who else we have here? I got Oren Lupe. Got you. Above the Rim. Got you. Boston Nick says $5 super chat says if this sacrifice helps us win a chip, do you see other teams as players following the same blueprint in the near future? I think it's hard to say, man, because this is a very rare circumstance here where it's really they're moving as one. They're moving as one. This is a collective here, so everybody's on the same page. So it's hard to see that'll be replicated in the NBA because there's really no loyalty in this business, and nor should it be. But this situation is a little bit different, man. They are in lockstep.
Look at what Paul George did with Kawhi.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't say, you know what, let's finish what we started.
Right.
He was like, no, I want what Kawhi got. Oh, y'all don't want to give it to me? I'm going to Philly.
Out of there.
Everybody in Philly thinks he went there because he really, wants to be a part of that. I mean, he does, but that $200 million also was a big reason why.
Exactly. Complete opposite, man. Mr. Syntastic's Nerdy Collection says, if we get Cat for Julius and Mitch, what do we do for backup center? Is there a way to keep Mitch in the deal and include someone else like Deuce? Now, you would need at least Julius and Mitch to make the deal happen. What do they do at backup center? Who knows? They don't even have an answer right now. Well, let's just see, man. And Leon has a way of pulling a rabbit out of a hat, so let's go with him. Salute to Fred Wong. Salute to Ari. 55.5. Oh, Shea Burgess. Missed this one, man. $40 super chat. Says trading Julius Randle, who has shown us that he fits here and impacts winning here, for someone that is soft, that does not have a mentality to deal with New York, is crazy. Randle is a dog. Do not trade Randle. Oh, I'm with you, man. Let's see what happens. Hi, crew homie. $5 super chat says big ups to Brunson, the best Jalen in sports. The city is yours, so treat it like a resort. In short, Judge lays the law, but it's Brunson who owns the court. Haiku homie with another bar, man. Throw a round of applause in the chat for Haiku homie. He never misses. Never misses, man. Great job. Isaiah Jackson says, can we go one day without talking about Randle? Hey, that's what people want to talk about, man. That's what the people want to talk about. BK Primo, $10 super chat says, we are screaming for Leon to get to work, and he is doing just that. We can't get attached to players simply because they're good. The question is, do they fit? That's the question. I think that's a statement that was shared with me as well. So let's see. Beeman Boy 81 franchise channel members, salute. And Nathaniel Thomas, welcome to the franchise channel members. All right, man. As you guys know, tomorrow post game live, Knicks versus Hornets Summer League, man. For the true diehards and degenerates, we will be here breaking it down. Highlights, analysis, caller reactions on a Saturday. So make sure you guys tap in with us, man. Number one show for the fans by the fans. Like, share, subscribe. Also, remember that this show is available in audio podcast format. No reason to miss it. We'll be live as we go, man. And stay tuned. Salute to the Replay Gang and support our sponsors. Manscaped.com. Use promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. JD, I'll holler at you, man. Enjoy the weekend, bro.
Let's go.
Blowing orange laws, meaning you pursue at your own cause. Last of a breed.